Good morning, Minnesota DFLers, and welcome to the DFL Daily. Richard Carlbaum here, chair of the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party. So good to be with you each and every morning at 10:45 on the dot, as often as we can, giving you the message, the actions, and the tools to take one more concrete step toward winning big in the 2026 midterm election this November. So before we get into today's topic, we have some upcoming events I wanted to highlight real quick. The Preston DFL is hosting an open house hours this evening at 5:30. Swing by, connect, and get involved locally. Also at 5:30, the Redwood County DFL is holding their regular meeting in Lucan. At 6 p.m., Becker County DFL has their monthly meeting. You can join that one virtually. And at 6:30 tonight, we've got a field leadership training for campaign supporters in Chaska. I do want to say something about all the field work that's happening around the state right now. As you know, we invested in organizing very, very early in 2025, the earliest ever in June of that year, put boots on the ground, 10 organizers throughout the state. I have great news for you. This week, our coordinated campaign is up and running, and we deployed 14 organizers around the state this week. And so you're going to start seeing a lot of door knocking opportunities pop up in front of you. And these are opportunities. I reviewed the script yesterday. It's a fantastic script. We're knocking on behalf of candidates who are endorsed, and we're listening. It's an active listening opportunity for us to be at the doors, be curious about how people are managing through the costs, prices, and the affordability crisis they face. And then we put that stuff in the van. Last weekend, we already knocked 1,000 doors just last weekend. That's how excited I am about the early work we're doing in the field in 2026. And here's a stat for you. By the end of the first week in June of 2024, we knocked a total of 0 doors. We are on track to knock almost 100,000 doors by the end of the first week in June in 2026. That's how far ahead of the curve we are, and we're doing it with our endorsed candidates at the state legislative district level right now, and eventually we'll do it with our statewide endorsed candidates after the state convention at the end of May. So anyway, at 6:30 tonight, we've got a field leadership training for campaign supporters in Chaska. Looking ahead to tomorrow, there's a DFL Senior Caucus is hosting a day on the Hill starting at 8:30 a.m. I'll be there bright and early to welcome everybody to the Capitol and thank them for being there and lifting up issues that are impacting seniors, including the affordability crisis. We all know that they feel deeply. At 5 p.m. tomorrow, you can join the rally for the Rural Rally for Democracy in Chatfield. That's a weekly event. And then at 6 p.m. tomorrow evening, there's a monthly meeting in Cloquet. This weekend, I'll be heading up north. I'm going to both the SD2 convention in Redby, and then I'm going to be heading over to the SD4 endorsing convention as well. So I'm really excited to get up north this weekend. And if you're going to be at either SD2, SD4, I look forward to seeing you. Also on Saturday, I want to note the Minneapolis DFL City Convention is taking place. They're going to endorse candidates for school board in the city of Minneapolis, and then they'll also be electing their party officers for the city of Minneapolis DFL. All right. For more information and future events, you can always go to dfl.org/events. Let's get to the topic. As you know, yesterday we went through our message memo. We're talking about the affordability crisis and how it's a real impact on folks. DFLers continue to focus on delivering our values, what we believe are universal values, while Republicans have their own priorities. Making sure that billionaire donors are put above everyday Minnesotans. Today, we're building on yesterday's message with some more guidance on framing and language. We're going to give you literally a formula that you can use that hopefully will help you transfer what you are feeling in terms of this affordability crisis and the values we have, and make that relatable to the voters that we're trying to reach. And it comes today, our work today comes from our friend Antonia Scatton, who was recently a guest on the DFL Daily and whose work we've been sharing with you the past few weeks. Just a reminder that you can find her work at reframingamerica.substack.com. We'll drop that, as Connor, I think, just did, in the comments so that you can take a look at her work. Her core idea we're talking about today is simple. We don't win by changing our values. We win by helping people see that our values are universal values and that we've all shared them this whole time. Let's take a look at that in practice. When you're communicating, don't just talk about what we're doing. Start with why it matters in a way everyone can see themselves in it itself. Not by narrowing our message, but by making it more universal. So here's a formula that we're going to share with you that I think is very, very helpful. There's 4 steps to doing this. First, start with that universal value. Think about what everyone wants: stability, fairness, the ability to support a family. Number two, say it out loud. Don't assume people are going to connect the dots. Be clear. People deserve to afford the basics. People deserve a little breathing room. People deserve an economy that works for them. Those are very clear values that we can share. And then connect it to the issue. Show how that value is being upheld. Or in some cases, take it away. Frame it around what should be true for everyone. And then number four, tie it to action. What are Democrats doing to protect or deliver on that value? So here's an example. Everyone should be able to afford health care and take care of their family. That's why we're working to lower costs and expand coverage here in Minnesota. It starts with a value everyone recognizes. It names what's right, and it connects that value to action. So again, that example is everyone should be able to afford health care and take care of their family. That's a value. And it links to an issue. That's why we're working to lower costs and expand coverage here in Minnesota. That's what Democrats are doing to deliver on that value and that issue. That's what makes it resonate. Very relatable and connected to their lived experience. Keep it simple. Value, why it matters, what we're doing about it. And remember, as Antonia says, the goal isn't to convince people we share their values. It's to remind them that we already share those values. So for today's action, I want you to use this formula. I want you to literally use this formula, put it into action. Take one issue that we're working on, healthcare, childcare, housing, education, wages. Start with a universal value. Make it clear why it matters to everyone. Then connect it to work Democrats are doing. Remember to keep it grounded, keep it human, and then hit post. Put it out there into the world. Let's share those values and remind people that we're not changing our values, but that we actually share those values. We've always held those values in common, and it's our opportunity to make that connection with them on a human level. Thank you, everybody. Great to be with you today. We are working hard to build the largest electoral defeat of a sitting president in the history of Minnesota midterms. We have 203 days until the November 3rd midterm election. Let's go win this thing. Thanks, everybody.